Hi, welcome to Heber Valley Airport, and the procedure that we're going to use today is to get the ASK-21 Quebec uniform untied and hooked up to a golf cart. So first thing that I do coming up to the glider itself is I want to make sure everything is removed from underneath the wing. Our bag of rocks that we'll be using to keep the wing down when transporting. Wing dolly. Tail dolly. Tow bar. Next is, in a sequence that sort of makes sense, we do a flow around the glider to get it untied and to make sure that it is secure and not going to be hitting anything or dropping a wing as we do that. So we'll get the right wing untied. These are just 3 forming stakes that we developed as a tie-down system here, and then the 3 tie-down straps that we have. And you'll see in the wing itself there is a hole designed by Schneider that one of the hooks can go through to get the anchor point for the other 2 hooks. Okay, after that's done, we're going to carefully remove the sawhorse wing stand. I usually take it about 10 or 15 feet away. I'll just lie it down into the grass here to get it away. Next thing I'm going to do is put our weight on, and in preparation of putting the wing dolly on. With 2 people it's a lot easier, but with 1 person we can get this wing dolly on by using the weight of the wing to keep it in place while we strap it. Next is we come to the tail section, and you'll notice there are a couple covers that we have. The first one is just an ace bandage, and that we use to cover up the rear 2 static ports. You'll notice them with a little red donut sticker on it on both sides, and that just keeps any bugs from getting into the glider itself here, or into the static system, pitot-static system. This is just a little sheath that my wife Beth Ann made that covers the total energy probe. Next, we'll undo the tail. It's just a single strap, and we do have a padded pillow here to keep the buckle from strapping. There's just a hook, and we lay this with the side up that's not going to be down into the dirt. Next is our gust lock for the rudder. And with this, we're going to want to make sure that we do put the pin back in so we know where it is, along with taking the 2 covers that we have, and I just bring them up into this so they can't be lost. Don't put them in your pocket. Guaranteed you're going to walk away from the glider with something in your pocket, so we keep them just shoved up in the back, and then this can be just gently put behind the glider. So the tail is undone. Next we come to the left wing. Same procedure as the right wing. 3 straps need to be undone, loosened and undone. noticed in the last one with the weight on the right wing that we put, the bag of rocks that we have, this one is going to want to go up. The wing is a lot, the dihedral of the aircraft is quite a bit more than a Grove. Normally in the Grove we could just let it come. I'm not tall enough to do that. So I walk myself down the leading edge and just gently let the wing, right wing now is low. Gives me an opportunity to unchalk it. And of course I did forget to undo the back straps. Not a good idea to try to lean across the wing and get these. Again, the cord length of this is quite a bit more than our Groves, so you do have to walk behind to undo the rear fasteners of the canopy cover. Canopy cover just has a couple bungee cords, and again another thing that we have are two more static ports in the front, left and right. This cover does cover it, those ports, so we don't have to get anything else onto those. Gently try to pull the cover off, and as I do, lift it up, keeping it out of the weeds. Folding it a couple times, and on days that aren't going to be super strong wind, I'm comfortable with moving the sawhorse out of the way, setting the canopy cover onto the sawhorse, and then taking one of our straps to just secure the cover itself here. So cover is secure. Next thing I want to do is walk back around to the right wing, and I'm going to put the wing dolly on. Oh, one thing I forgot to do was loosen the control stick that had been wrapped with the seat belt. The ASK is different from the Grove. There are two canopies that open up in a clamshell type of fashion. And so we have to gently release one, reach across, two, and there's a handle to lift it up. And the stick is now unsecured. On hot days, luckily today isn't, but on most days, I'll take a cushion and just set it over the seat belts so the sun doesn't bake them, because they get pretty hot. Canopy's down. I just lock one of the locks there for transport. Again, rear seat. We're going to open up. Cover up the seat belts. And from there we can secure the canopy down and lock. One of the features of the Schleicher is the rear canopy has to be closed and locked prior to the front canopy being closed and locked. There's a safety mechanism, a little fiberglass or nylon cam there that is pivoted that makes that a safety feature, that we have to have the rear locked before the front so it doesn't open up inadvertently. Okay, cockpits are open and ready to go. Over to our wing dolly here. Make sure that we do have some air in the tire, so we can just squeeze it, make sure there is. And what I do is I gently lift the glider up, and this was designed by Stan McGrew, that I can slide it on with about a third to a fourth of the aileron covered. The buckles are ready to go. The straps are then I can walk around to the front of the glider. Again, this bag of rocks The weight of it is keeping the wing down to keep the wing dolly secure in place. Again, in a windy condition, ask for help. Don't try to do this yourself. And if it's going to be that windy, we probably won't be flying gliders, but in the event that you do have wind conditions, please ask for help with this. Okay, wing dolly is on and snug. Last thing that we're going to do is make sure that our equipment is out of the way. So our tail wheel dolly bucket can be stored next to our bucket that we keep spray in for bug removal. Passenger release forms are in here, along with a safety booklet. In the event of an accident occurring, there's a booklet in there of things to do, very sequential. Dave Cleveland, one of our members, made that book, and it's really a nice addition. If something were to happen, follow the steps in this book. Cool. Rock power. All right. Tail dolly. I hold it with the right hand. My left hand is holding the tire up. At this point, I'm going to gently set it. And before I do that, I'm going to back step one. I can actually lift, make sure everything is clear, and pivot this very light tail that the A-21 has out of the way of the tie down equipment over here before I put the tail wheel dolly on. And again, pick it up with the right hand, grab the tire assembly with the left, gently set it onto it. I'll use my right hand to lift the boom of the glider, my left hand to get this in place. If you do try to get it on and it's very tight, readjust it about 1/16 of an inch fore or aft so these buckles go down securely, but they're not forced down. All right, carefully stepping over the boom. Again, I make sure the area is clear, and now I can pivot the glider on the steel plate that it rests on. Next is our tow bar assembly. It is an extendable tow bar. Putting it on or taking it off, we want to make sure it is collapsed all the way to the shortest position. It fits into a little sleeve on the tail wheel dolly. Goes in, back down, and then with a good pull, you can pull it out until you hear a detent, a click on that. All right, well that about wraps it up. From there, we get our golf cart, hook it up, we're ready to take it to the line.